I think Dan Campbell matured. I think he is now seasoned into that role. And I think the team is taking their cues. And I will say this, the whole crying bit and wearing your heart in your sleeve and the biting kneecaps, maybe that's what the Lions needed at that point in time. I just didn't think that was a recipe for long-term success. I did not think you could exist for 8 years as a head coach and be crying in week 6 of a season in year 2. But look, maybe those guys needed that then. What they need now is what Campbell has given them. That's a team that believes they're really good, and they are really good, and they proved it last night. And Campbell's tone has changed. Dan Campbell looks like he's in control. Doesn't mean he's not fiery. You know, when they had the turnover nearing the red zone, blew a chance for at least 3 points. You see Dan Campbell like, how do we blow this? You know, he still has a fire and intensity, but is more of a controlled intensity than what felt very uncontrolled prior. Guys can grow into jobs. They can grow into roles. But where the Lions are right now, they needed the coach to push along that development, that maturity from his own standpoint as well. And he's doing it. And so I give Campbell a lot of credit because he's growing into the leader that now is ready for this next chapter of the Lions where everyone knows they're really good, and now they have to deal with that. And they responded last night. Look, Dan Campbell ran the fake punt on 4th down from his own 17-yard line early in the game on the first offensive possession that they had. That's massive stones. If they get stuffed short of that first down, you're giving Patrick Mahomes 15 yards to work with to score a touchdown. And now you're trailing and you're chasing all night on the road in a building that is at a fever pitch because of the Super Bowl banner being hung in the pregame ceremony. It's tough. That's a tough thing to have to overcome, putting your defense out there saying defend 15 yards against Patrick Mahomes early in this game. But they got it. And they went down the field. They scored a touchdown on that drive. And it didn't only set a tone, I thought, for the game of, yeah, we need maybe a jolt. Maybe we'll need to steal a possession, but I trust you guys to do it. I thought that was a important message to send, and they responded. I think it set a tone for the season. And I'll tell you why. Sometimes when these sexy, trendy, young teams that haven't really accomplished much yet but seem to be ready to explode, they hear this coming into the season, they hear this all off season, and then there's a little deer in headlights now that they got to do it. And it's really nice. It's incredible for 6 months to read, to hear, to see people talk really well about you. If you're a Lion, this is not part of your reality, where the country, national pundits, publications, online, fans not in Detroit are like, yeah, man, this team's good. It's cool to be a Lion. You're not used to that. So you could hear that for 6 months, and then suddenly you wake up and it's a game and it's national TV and it's against the defending Super Bowl champs, and you go, What Campbell did there to set the tone was, we're not going to stop being who we are. We're going to be aggressive. We're going to take chances. I trust you. We're good. Sometimes coaches go the opposite way, and they send their players, even unintentionally, a message of, we're supposed to be good. Let's not screw that up. Let's not screw that part of it up. We're supposed to be good, so let's just keep playing field position. We'll punt it away. You know what? If we lose 24-20, that's okay. We're on the road. It's Kansas City. These are all learning experiences. What Campbell did was say, we're not suddenly going to stop being kind of the puncher, which they've been the last 2 years. We're going to keep punching. We're going to keep being aggressive. We're going to keep being who we are because it got us here, and that's very empowering. That decision on the first possession of your season at Arrowhead on national TV, if that blows up in your face, you got to wear that. But look, the Lions capitalized on it, and it was a very important 7 points. I was very impressed. And also, I just want to wave the banner for Lions fans for a second here. They've been rebuilding since 1959, the curse of Bobby Lane. This is a franchise where Barry freaking Sanders, one of the greatest players of all time, enjoyed one playoff win. One. They have been handed garbage coaches, garbage GMs, hot garbage on a platter for a long time, an embarrassment. Barry retired early. Megatron retired early. Stafford had to leave to with anything significant. No playoff win since the early 90s. They have been handed slop after slop, embarrassment after embarrassment, a lot of bags over heads. And they show up. They showed up at the Silverdome. They show up at Ford Field. Sundays in Michigan have always mattered. They will always matter, no matter how garbage that franchise is, given their fans nothing to root for. Michigan Sundays matter. When you go, Lions fans keep showing up. And last night, Arrowhead's not an easy ticket. Arrowhead's a really tough ticket on a beautiful, warm Thursday night in September, rather, where you get your Super Bowl banner. That's a tough ticket. Lions fans showed up. I mean, how much Honolulu blue did you see in your screen last night? That is usually a sea of red. And your road fans, because I've been in that building many times, your road fans usually get excommunicated to the upper deck in one of the end zone corners in a small sliver. And that's where Raiders fans have to sit and Broncos fans have to sit. And, road fans usually have to, those are the only tickets that they have, and they're pushed up there. Last night, we saw Lions fans lower bowl. That's not a cheap ticket. That's not a cheap trip. Now, you could have driven from Michigan, but you've got to spend money to be in that lower bowl. And they all showed up, and they were rewarded with a win. I mean, that's a lot of pride that Lions fans had to go down there and watch their team and get validated like that. That was pretty amazing.